Silver EV. I'm Sean, and at the moment we're packing to go away. There's more stuff in the car that we're taking. Now, the purpose for this video is because within the next month and a bit we are going to be making 2 trips. One of them from here in eastern Pennsylvania to the to the shores of Chincoteague Island, Virginia, and one of them to upstate New York, to the Adirondacks, to Schroon Lake. One is 275 miles, one of them is 300 miles. Behind me is Julie Blue, you know her, Kia EV6, all-wheel drive. Behind Julie Blue is a 2023 Subaru Forester 2.5 litre. That's internal combustion engine car. Today we're taking the Subaru, and tomorrow we will be taking, so not tomorrow, next month when we go to Schroon Lake, we'll be taking the Kia EV6. Now, because both trips are within 25 miles of each other, but I'll also be traveling extra to get charged, this is a beautiful way to show how much time is taken out of your journey, can or maybe doesn't have to be taken out of your journey to do a trip of this length. Now, Google Maps says that this trip is, sorry, I got remote control, that's better, that this trip is going to take 5 hours. We never take 5 hours on a trip. We'll be stopping for bathroom breaks, we'll be stopping for coffee, we'll be stopping for lunch. There's a set place that we stop on the way to Chincoteague Island. And when next month we do this trip up to Schroon Lake, there'll be rest stops, there'll be a place that we will be stopping for lunch. And of course, the difference is that in the EV, it has to be charged. Now, we did fuel up totally the Subaru Forester last night. We put in $25 worth of fuel. That took about 3 minutes. But the thing is it had to take 3 minutes. I was at a gas station where when you press the handle, instead of locking into position as it can do, that one didn't. So I had to stand there the whole time, pressing the handle in to fill up the car. All we've got to do now is finish packing, and then we'll be on the road. I'm taking the first leg driving, so I'm not going to be filming anything for that. But the first stop that we're making will be from here in the Scranton area to the Allentown services on the Pennsylvania Turnpike, I-476 southbound. We really do have an awful lot of stuff packed into this car. Well, that was a successful first leg undertaken, and we're still alive, so here we go. All right, let's head out.
Can you push the seat back at all?
Not at all, no. The only things to adjust are the main mirror and the driver's side mirror. And I will now be navigator. Oh wait, we've got Apple Maps. Never mind. Conshohocken! Yeah. Oh well, this is what it is. The beauty of getting towards 95.
To keep right towards Chester.
Welcome to Delaware. We're now going across a bridge near Wilmington, and I've just checked the Electrify America app. The chargers at Newcastle's Wawa, there are meant to be 6 Electrify America chargers. 3 of the 6 are out of action. Numbers 1 and 2 next to each other would share voltage, and number 4 is working. So 3, 5 and 6 are down. So not very good. If we were to be traveling in the EV6, that would be the logical place for me to stop to get the free charging with the Electrify America 3 years, 1,000 kilowatt hour charging. But as it stands now, whoopsie. There are also chargers on the Delmarva Peninsula. Royal Farms, for example, quite a few of the locations do have charging, but that would mean having to pay for it. And yeah, don't like the idea of that. The Death Race 2000, that is Interstate 95 South. Are we loving it, love?
Yeah, I'm gonna head to the traffic, babe.
Not surprised. Over the bridge we go, over the bridge we go. So it's just after 2 p.m. We're coming up to Smyrna Rest Area, just north of Dover, Delaware. And that's where we're going to have our packed lunch. As it stands, we wouldn't have been that bad off if the chargers weren't available in Newcastle, Delaware. Here at Smyrna there are a couple of locations that have them. There's a Wawa's and there's a Ford dealership that have level 3 charging, so we could have used that, but we'd have had to have charged there and then had lunch here separately. Very nice. 175 miles gone, 125 miles or so to go. Now we arrived here just after 2 p.m. It's now just after 3 p.m. so we spent a good hour here. If we needed to charge at the place near the Royal Farms, then obviously we'd be able to get a coffee there, but slower charges would have taken half an hour, so that would have been added to the time. Were we able to get into the Electrify America, then with the EGMP 800 volt architecture, that would have taken us about 15 minutes to get the charge we needed, enough time to go to the Dunkin' Donuts next door and get a coffee. So in the best of situations, it wouldn't have actually added any additional time onto our journey, because it would have been the amount of time to go to the loo and get a drink anyway. So let's hit the road and get down into Virginia to Chincoteague Island. Yeah, turtles. Look at that. Hi, turtles. I bet you get fed a lot, don't you? That's why you're here. That's why you're here. We're just across the border into Maryland, and I might even saying that right, at a tourist information centre. It is currently coming up to 5 p.m. So we set off about 10:30. You know, we've been on the road 6.5 hours, but you know, a little time here, a little time in Allentown, and just about an hour in Smyrna in Delaware. So here we go. Here's one of the very nice ladies at the tourist information thing. Have yourself a good one. Bye bye.
Oh,
yeah.
Every time.
Yep.
Absolutely. So good. We
Yep.
stand in line with everybody else.
Yep. Here we go. With New Order on the radio, and that used to be a bowling alley and now looks like a zombie apocalypse location. Mad props to NASA. Also mad props to the visitor center there, also NASA. Oh, I do like to be beside the seaside. Oh, I do like to be beside the sea. Oh, I do like to stroll along the prom. Oh, there's people eating on the deck of the village, yes. And here we are, 300 miles later. It is 6:10 p.m, which means 7 hours and 50 minutes to do.
Should we just go here?
Oh yeah, this is good. To do a 5-hour trip, including a meal break, a coffee break, a pee break, and just generally taking our time. So we made it. I'm staying in the car. I don't want to be eaten alive by the mosquitoes at the moment. And we used just over half a tank of fuel. The fact is that we will have to fill up sometime midweek, and this wildlife loop is slow going, so in internal combustion engine vehicle is not very fuel efficient and will use up an awful lot of fuel, so we'll probably have to top up again before we leave. But back at the hotel, if we'd have bought the electric car, the downside of having to find the charger, having Newcastle, Delaware be full up, and having to pay extra above and beyond my plan, well, that's a downside, but there's an upside at the hotel. Here's the other side of this Coke truck here. We have two Tesla destination chargers, level 2, 48 amps at 240 volts, so that's 9.6 kilowatts, using the NACS plugs there. So if you have a vehicle that has NACS, such as a Tesla or any of the new vehicles, or even if you have a NACS adapter for your J1772 vehicle and you're a hotel guest, you get to charge here for free. Now you may be thinking to yourself, well, how come they get all that free electricity? But then again, if you're in the hotel, you get free electricity anyway. I mean, think about it. You get to have air conditioning and cable TV and heat and lights and all that stuff. And you get to see the ponies here for free. Although that's not electricity, I don't know. They don't run horses on electricity. But yeah, so should I have brought my electric car here, then of course I'd have been able to charge up to 100%, so all fuel for the rest of the week done while we were sleeping. By the way, I was born somewhere in that direction. Although when we were getting off the beach and I was brushing sand off my legs and feet, I was sat on the back of the Subaru, and I did get a little bit too close to the exhaust with my right leg. That's not really a bad mark against ICE vehicles, that's just my stupidity, but wouldn't have happened with an EV. Not really counting though, just telling you. Well, it's the Monday night and haven't gone into Chincoteague and around the wildlife loop and stuff like that. We were down to about a quarter of a tank, so we are filling up. Thankfully, I don't have to be holding it for the whole time because it does have the little clips that are working on this one. Thank you very much, Sunoco. We decided to put $25 worth in, which is just shy of 9 gallons. Once again, if we had the electric car, we wouldn't have to do this at all because we get free charging at the hotel. Yeah, we didn't quite fill up when we put in the $25, but even then we've lost a couple of notches just in a day and a tiny bit. So as we drive around at slow speed around the islands, that's going to keep happening. It's going to go down in fuel. This is the Atlantic Ocean.
$1 worth of gas that I put in the car.
Yep.
We've used in about 3 days, just because we're driving around at such low speeds and starting and stopping a lot.
Yep. Now, meanwhile, there are more electric vehicles around here. There are people with rented e-bikes and scooters and those things, golf carts, which have lithium batteries in them. There are 4-seater, 6-seater. I see them all over the place here. So there's definitely alternative means of getting around that people are using.
There's some big jellyfish in.
It's Friday night and we've just put 30 in. We'll see how full that has made things. All right.
What was that?
How full has 30 made things? It says a full tank. So it was within $1 or $2 of being a full tank. Totally full. Ooh, That's a nice little electric Hyundai. There's a very, very nice Cadillac Lyriq. So with a nearly full tank at 11:30 in the morning on Saturday. This is it. We've got to go back home. 300 miles back. We'll see how we do for fuel. Goodbye, Atlantic Ocean. We miss you. And in a month's time, we'll see you again in upstate New York. So with 290.2 miles showing, but we started it around about close to where we get the car wash. So there's another like 7-8 miles that should have been on there, and with not far to go to home.
Use the middle lane to turn left onto Music Street.
Will do. Just a shade under half a tank left. 5/12 of a tank left. The surprising part was the fuel economy. 37 miles per gallon, which is pretty awesome. So that's what we get using this car. So let's fast forward a month. It's 1 month later, and as you see by the clock on the wall, it's very close to the time I would usually leave for work anyway. I have my work clothes in the car, and so what I'm now going to do is part two. Part one was driving down to Chincoteague in a gas car. Part two. Well, here's the plan. I'm taking Julie Blue here to the Electrify America. I'm going to just charge up to like 80-odd%. It's an 800 volt car. It'll do it very quickly. And then later, when I get home tonight, level 1 charging. 120 volts, 13 amps. I'll just top it up to 100 because tomorrow is when we set off for New York State for Schroon Lake. And there'll be one stop on the way. We need to stop for lunch anyway, as we did with Chincoteague. So I'll be doing that. And then getting to destination, and we'll see how it compares to doing things in a gas car. Turn the music off. So let's go. On the bottom left there, you see I'm at 29%. Hello, Scranton High School. And let's get to them Electrify America chargers that I have the free 3 years charging up to 1,000 kilowatt hours, of which I haven't even used 100 kilowatt hours of yet. It's because of my short commute. So let's get there and let's get charging. Plugged in, started charger one using the app. No, thank you for giving me free electricity for 3 years. As you see from the top of the screen, it's 7:58 a.m. Charging started, says the car. There we are, I came in at 29%. It says 13 minutes until 80%. I'm going to leave at about 8:20. That should comfortably get me to work at 8:30. So let's go for a pee. Temperature outside is 72 degrees Fahrenheit, about 22 degrees Celsius. Expected high today of 30 Celsius, which is 86 Fahrenheit. Chance of thunderstorms. You can tell by the watermarks there has been a little bit of rain overnight, but now it's all nicely dried up. Over 35 kilowatt hours delivered in 11 minutes. Still pulling over 150. This isn't bad at all. A nice flat, fat charge curve. I hit the stop button as soon as that hits 8:15 because I've pretty well, here we go. That's good. I just had a thought, and that would be, I hear people talk about how they only need to spend 5 minutes filling up when they're, filling up their petrol, gasoline, or their diesel vehicle. Well, here's the thing. How quick does it actually take to fill up when you are just pulling in to home and you just need to pop on a charge? So here I am, I'm just pulling in. That's good. Let's lock that. Now, turning off the car, popping the fuel thing. I'll get my stuff out of the back later, but I would be getting out of the car anyway. The only difference is, if I reach up here, grab this handle, take the little rubber thing off, and just plug this in here. And that is it. Oh no, it takes so long to recharge these things. Well, I've just got the bins in. And it's been going for how long? Set out of focus. That's better. For 21 minutes, and it's got about 2/5 of a kilowatt hour in there, and it's gonna just keep going. It's just past 7 o'clock in the morning, and I received notification that this had finished. 7.78 kilowatt hours added. It only took 12 hours and 4 minutes to get from 85% to 100. Just plugged in to a regular 120 volt outlet. And for this trip, the charger is portable. This is coming with. I need to fix this thing onto this thing. There. Perfect. We're only going for a long weekend, but we are staying in a cabin in Schroon Lake, and I know I pronounced it Schroon Lake last month. I didn't know how to pronounce it. Ah, that button only opens the hatch. And I see the 12 volt light is on the dashboard as well. Okay, the watch says it's about 10:30. The microwave, the cooker, just about agree. And so, I have my wallet. Yep, sound effects. Are we ready for the off, love?
We are ready for the off.
All right, I will be driving the first leg, so there'll be no video between here and, well, the first stop. We'll probably stop at a rest area somewhere in New York State. Kia keys.
I need my key for your car, don't I?
Go for it. That gives me enough time to make sure that the navigation is navigating as it should be. 768 total miles. Let's reset the accumulated time. Let's go to navigation down here. Did I still have the route there? Yep, to Panera Bread, which is in Albany, New York. We have a couple of stops put in there, just like the trip to Chincoteague, where we had a coffee break, toilet break kind of thing, and then a meal break. So here we go at 10:33. First leg of the journey, 72.5 miles, and just over an hour because of various roadworks on Interstate 84. We're now in New York State. 3.8 miles a kilowatt hour, and we're down to 77%. Just one thing we're going to do slightly differently for the next leg from here to where we're going to get a coffee in Platte Hill, New York, is switch over from the onboard navigation to Google Maps. The reason being is because of the roadwork had single lane in both direction, and we were directed into what was otherwise the oncoming lane. That's what the car kept reminding us of every 10 seconds. So rather than fiddle with the volume control, what do you reckon, love?
Google Maps.
Google Maps it is. So here we are, 108 miles later. We are in the Walmart parking lot, Westmere area of Albany, New York. We've been driving the whole way, almost 2 hours, 3.8 miles per kilowatt hour, and the lovely assistant, Beth, at charger number 4, is going to help us charge. First of all, you need to uncover the DC pins.
Oh, you're talking to me? This? I don't know what you mean.
Yes, yeah, you got to uncover it.
How?
By pulling that.
Okay.
Now just, yeah, leave that to an angle, that's fine. Okay, now, over on charger 5, if you take the handle, it's got a bit of weight to it. Let me get it clear of the... There we go. Okay, so now what you got to do is position the pins. And that's it, that clicked in. Now this is charger number 5, and I'll start starting it. There we go, we are nicely ramping up into the 130s, 140s. It says 13 minutes until 80%. We'll keep an eye on that. And well done, you have successfully started your first DC fast charge. Should we go get some Panera bread?
Yes, please, I'm very hungry.
So literally sat down after ordering the food. How was the food, love? Very nice. Yeah, don't speak with my mouth full. And I already see notification that the car's at 91%, so So I'm a lot faster eating. Just got notification. Oh, there's an ID4 there, very nice. I just got notification that I was over 90%. I mean, that's pretty quick. So let's have a look. 97%, and it's still pulling 34, so I'm definitely stopping there. After 25 minutes, Beth is still eating, so yeah, let's put this away. Well, we're here at our accommodation, going slow through the lodge, and 268.3 miles later, 4 hours and 50, give or take, and 3.7 miles per kilowatt hour, not too bad. That's the swimming pool in there. Yowza. You know, we better get to check-in and get to our cabin. I've gone and put my key card in my wallet, so what I'm going to try here is seeing if holding my wallet up to the door works. Hey babes, welcome to our home from home with a bit of paper in the way, and that's why it's called the Mallard, because there are mallard ducks. We even have our own ensuite golf course. That is not the Atlantic Ocean. So we're back at the lodge, and there's a campfire with s'mores, and there's a band, and there's all kinds of going on. And there'll be cookies and coffee in the main building, and I've had a beer. See you in the morning. Oh, I definitely want a coffee this morning. Yeah, this happens a lot. I have an old Velcro strap. It's cold, isn't it? Yeah, I really should get myself a new strap for this. First we're gonna have lunch, then the wedding, and then the barbecue, at which I'm gonna be doing a 2-hour DJ set. So here's John. John's gonna be DJing with me tonight. Hello, John. Where were you, Gus? We were worried sick.
I am happy to pronounce you man and wife. You may now kiss each other.
I am going to be on the decks, actually, proper DJ mix. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Oh, you my baby girl. Here you are. Because they got me tending bar. Sam and Gus. It's been a good night. It's nearly 7 in the morning. Man, that was a heck of a party. I'm just going to go up the road a few miles to the North Hudson Electrify America.
Turn left onto New York State Route 74 and then turn right north.
Okay, so I currently have 51% state of charge. With the small amount of running about, you try saying that 10 times fast. It would have meant that I could have charged using the receptacle on the outside of the cabin we were staying at quite comfortably and replenished the car. I could have even have used it, gotten up to 100%, but I didn't want to because, well, one, I want to see about the ease of charging locally, and secondly, I was told about this view coming north of the Adirondacks, and that's just gorgeous. Sorry about the glare. This is Frontier Town.
You have arrived at your destination.
Oh my God, that is
your route guidance is finished.
absolutely gorgeous. Look at these. The trip to get here was just under 9 miles and 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour. Yeah. It's a gorgeous day though. There's not a cloud in the sky. Oh, there's a few clouds in the sky, but they're not really consequential. And this really is nice, the canopy. The wood look to the facade, LED lights, the branding, and if I was so inclined I could go over there, see if it was open. So this used to be a McDonald's. There's still that there, but apparently, according to the Google reviews, it's not a McDonald's restaurant, but there is a restaurant inside. Apparently, it serves a really good chicken tikka masala or a buttered chicken, and they're gyros. Their Greek food's pretty good as well, but they don't open until 10 a.m. Compact and bijou property, much in the same style as the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Close to both Fort Henry and Fort Ticonderoga in the beautiful Adirondack Mountains. Local amenities include gas station, restaurant, and 2 car charging facilities. Yours for the low price of, I have no idea. So I'm going to unplug soon. I just checked on a better route planner for getting back to Scranton area. It recommends a stop at Saugerties, which we're going to do anyway because there's a few places that we could have lunch there. Oh, a Chevy Equinox electric just pulling up, very nice. I got very close to 70 kilowatt hours now in the battery, and even if I were only getting 3 miles per kilowatt hour, that's still 210 miles. But looking at the lay of the land on a better route planner, it's basically downhill all the way into central New York State. So yeah, 27 minutes, 40 kilowatt hours hit. That's absolutely perfect. Let's give this a stop. And there's the summary. Finished at 95% state of charge, 27 minutes and 15 seconds. And yeah, the amount of cost to me, 0. So we are all packed up and gonna say goodbye to the cabin. So it was Beth's idea to come to the cupola here in Schroon Lake and have some crepes for breakfast. So we're having half a savoury and half sweet, and coffee for the road. And for that 107 miles, it took nearly 2 hours at 4.3 miles a kilowatt hour because of the slowness. That was great. And here we are at the new Baltimore rest stop. We're just going to go for a pee or something. They are level 3 charge. Now, here we are in Saugerties, New York. Since I charged in North Hudson, those are the stats, and the average has been great. So let me just flip the thing and let's get charging straight away. Charging started pretty quick. Something happened with my app. It still said initializing charge, but it does have an RFID reader there, and I do have the thing in my wallet, so I was able to just pull it up in the wallet and it read it, and it's fine, and we're already above 200 kilowatts. So my wife is heading towards Starbucks, which sounds like a very good idea. We needed to stop before the car did for a second time. After half finishing my Starbucks so far, we have a BMW, an Ioniq 5, the cousin of my Kia EV6. And I was checking the app the whole way, and here we are at 96%, still pulling in 28 kilowatts, 29. Absolutely no need for any more than that, even though we're on the free plan. So let's press stop. And yep, 40 kilowatt hours in 26 minutes. The 400 volt cars can only dream. So the run from Saugerties, 79.1 miles over an hour and a half, and 3.9 miles per kilowatt hour. And what that means for the accumulated stuff over the last 10.5 hours of driving and 526.1 miles. Blah, 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 blah. PA Welcome Centre. And finally home again at 581.6 miles. With 11.5 plus hours of driving, 3.7 miles a kilowatt hour. For the highway driving we've been doing, that is exceptional stuff. All right, 51% state of charge. That'll keep you going for a week or two. Let's just get this luggage in. What does this mean as a summary in comparing battery electric vehicles to internal combustion engine vehicles? Well, crunch the numbers. Did I have to charge the EV on the way there? I'll get back to that later. The answer in summary is almost no. The Subaru First, not counting the cost it was to fuel before we went, we used $25 on the Monday, $30 on the Friday, and that included fuel to get back. So that's $55 as a comparison, not including the fill up before we left. The EV6, we're not going to be counting the fill up as well before we left. Both vehicles started at the equivalent of 100%. Just as a side note, when I used the home level 1 charger, which is very inefficient, to fill up the 15% top up, it was 17.78 kilowatt hours. Now, the battery itself only has 73 kilowatt hours usable. So as you can tell, if 15% is 17.78, 100% is around 118.5 kilowatt hours, which obviously the rest of it is due to losses and other operational use that's not putting power into the battery while it's being charged. but still at 18 cents a kilowatt hour. If I were to have a completely empty car and filled it up with 118.5 kilowatt hours at around 18 cents a kilowatt hour, that would be around $21.30, $21.35, which to top up a car is pretty cheap. You know, as I mentioned, the losses, seeing as my commute is very short and doesn't cost an awful lot in electricity, and I have this 3 years free charging, which I'm slowly going through, it's not financially worth my while to invest in getting a NEMA 1450 plug put into the garage in that direction with the wires from the panel box, which is in that direction on the house. Schroon Lake trip. Could I have made it? Almost, on a single charge. I set off with 100%, got to Albany at 39%, so that's 61% used, charged up to 97, and then arrived at Schroon Lake at 56%. So that there is 41% used. 61 and 41, 102. Very close. If I'd have reduced my speed, if I'd have decided to stick behind slightly slower traffic and tailgate to take advantage of the reduced wind resistance that would have afforded me, then yeah, I probably could have got there on a single charge. But this wasn't about hypermiling, this was about enjoying the trip. On the way back though, it was more downhill. I actually went further because I went north of Schroon Lake to North Hudson to charge there, and so 95% from North Hudson, stopping at Schroon Lake, picking up everything and then hitting the road. Got to Saugerties, New York with 50%, so that's 45% state of charge. Charged up to 97% and got home with 51% at home, so that is 46% used, so 45% on the first leg up to Saugerties, then 46% to get home. That's 91%. So thanks to the fact that I was coming down out of the Adirondacks, definitely could have made the journey back on that single charge that I got up to 95% in North Hudson. Got back with about 4% state of charge. So what about the costs? We've realized that the internal combustion engine, the Subaru, was $55. The battery electric, on Friday at Albany, New York, there were 2 sessions. We moved from charger 4 to charger 5 because the cable was on the same side as the power outlet, the charging port on the car, to make it easy for Beth to plug in for her first time. But the combined $4.08 and $24.19, that was $28.27 there in Albany, New York. That was an Electrify America by itself location, and would cost 56 cents a kilowatt hour if I didn't have the plan. Now the Sunday, going from both North Hudson to Saugerties and Saugerties to home, both of those charges were run by Evolve New York in partnership with Electrify America, and they don't charge 56 cents a kilowatt hour, they charge 47 cents a kilowatt hour. Both of those charging sessions were 40 kilowatt hours in size, so both of them were $18.80. So I've got 2 $18.80 and the $28.27 in Albany. Add those together and it makes a total of $65.87, which is more than the car. If I'd have had the $7 a month plan with Electrify America that takes 25% off the cost of filling up, and you find me any petrol/gas station that has a special plan where if you pay a small monthly premium, you're getting 25% off your fuel. That $65.87 would go down to $7 per month for the plan and $49.40 for the electricity. less than the $55. $56.40, so it would have been more if I'd have just bought the plan just for this, but if I already had use of the plan and this was just a trip on it, it would have been cheaper than gas. So because of that, between the two, cost-wise, it about evens out-ish, thanks to the fact that there was charging, there was an amount of charge that was from home that was cheaper. So yeah, let's say about the same. Now, if I could have just used home electric and gone slow and gotten there on fumes and electrons, and then if we'd have been staying long enough in the lodge at Schroon Lake and being able to use that power outlet on the outside to trickle charge, we weren't there enough days. And for one of the days we were there for the wedding and the reception, so there was no way we could leave the car there just plugged at the side, or rather the front of the cabin, which would have been noticeable and would have caught the attention of some people. But if we could have charged overnight, and we were there for a week, we definitely could have got all the electricity we used for the running around, and we probably could have charged up to 100% as well, which means that for the home electricity, $21.33, and the trip back would have been the equivalent of using free electricity from the lodge, in the same way that there were free chargers at the Refuge Inn in Chincoteague Island. A lot cheaper. The return trip would have cost me $0. So that's the breakdown. As for range anxiety, absolutely zero range anxiety. I just think anxiety is for the anxious. As it stands, including Scranton, there are 9 Electrify America and Evolve New York locations that I was able to use my free plan on, should I have wanted to use every single one of them on the trip. The 10th one was just beyond Schroon Lake. That was the one in North Hudson, and they are building another location, or updating a location, I'm not exactly sure which, at Saratoga Springs, New York, which would be very handy. So if you're thinking about getting an electric car, it's easy to plan the trips. It's no harder than if you were to plan a trip by using Google Maps, or before that MapQuest, or before that Paper Maps and AAA TripTics. No problem at all. So anyway, thank you very much for your time. Thanks for having a look at my home movies. Like the video, dislike the video, comment below, subscribe if you want to see more occasional content, and I'll see you next time. Stay fresh, cheese bags.